folks filing in on a beautiful Wednesday night at 20th and Blake. Get your peanuts, your Cracker Jacks, and settle on in for an evening of baseball. Rockies playing the rubber game of this three-game set against the San Francisco Giants. They won on Monday, dropped a 5-3 decision yesterday, and looking to get after Madison Bumgarner tonight. Welcome upstairs, everybody. Good evening with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. Glad that you are with us tonight. Madison Bumgarner for the San Francisco Giants, and the Rockies will counter with Jhoulys Chacín. Looks like a pretty good pitching matchup to me.
Yeah, you go back a few years, you start looking around at all these. You know, this is like the Maddox when Maddox is on the hill, those type of guys. These two guys, big leaders of both of their ball clubs. You see Chacín's numbers, 12-7, 322. Bumgarner record should be much better than what is indicated, 11-8, 284 earned run average. With Chacín, what he has been able to do, and again, there's been a lot of talk about less velocity. There's less velocity, but there's early outs. There's a lot of movement on the fastball, which creates the slider much better. He's able to get the ground ball, shorten up innings, and that's the biggest key for his success. Runner gets on, double play ball. He's got 23, which second in the National League to Wainwright and St. Louis. You get 23 double plays. You're going to shorten innings, shorten games up. And for Madison Bumgarner, I mean, he's throwing the ball very well. And again, this is a lefty that threw a lot harder when he was younger, but now he's a pitcher. He'll throw the nasty cutter in underneath your hands. And you see what he's done against the West this year, 7-3, 263 earned run average. And the velocity, yeah, he averages 88, 89. When he signed, he was 95, 96, but 162 strikeouts in 171 innings.
He gets you out.
He'll get you out.
He gets you out. Jhoulys Chacín gets you out. Reduced pitch number compared to a couple of years ago for Jhoulys.
Well, there's no question. Anytime you're able to go out to the mound and you're at 85, 90 pitches and you're working into the back end of a seventh inning, you've carried your ball club where a manager wants you to go with it, and that's something he's done very well.
Absolutely. When we come back, we'll talk about the catcher / first baseman. That would be Willeen Rosario. That'll be next as we get you ready for first pitch tonight. Rockies and Giants. beautiful week so far. Rockies will have tomorrow off before the Cincinnati Reds come to town. But first things first, Colorado trying to get after the San Francisco Giants tonight. And they've done a good job so far against the Giants here at Coors Field. And in the center of the storm, seemingly every night, has been Willeen Rosario. For more on what he's been up to, we go downstairs to Mark Stott. Mark?
Yeah, you know what, Drew? When you talk about Willeen Rosario offensively, all you need to know is his 20 home runs is tied with J.P. Arencibia for the most of any catcher in the big leagues. And his 71 RBIs is the most of any catcher in the bigs. This is Willeen earlier today. Little infield around the first base bag. Just getting work in with Stu Cole. That's because Walt Weiss has him hitting fifth and wearing that first baseman's mitt tonight.
Swing the bat well and wanted to keep him in the lineup and rest his legs a little bit and get him out from behind the plate. So yeah, and he's handled himself at first base. So yeah, I want to keep his bat in the lineup.
This will be his fourth start at first base, but when you're talking offense, he's owned the Giants. 4-14 at home against San Francisco. 3 for 4 last night. And if you look at this month, he's hitting .317. In the last 2 weeks, even better. He's been red hot, .325 in the last 2 weeks. He's third on the team in home runs behind Cargo and Tulo. He's first in RBIs with 71, and in batting average at .285, it goes Kadire, Cargo, Tulo, and then Willeen Rosario. He's that kind of a player, Drew, for the Rockies, and that's why you got to keep him in the lineup anyway.
Absolutely. Todd Helton speaks very highly of his abilities at first as well. So Rosario at first tonight. Rockies looking to take this series against San Francisco. It's the Rockies and Giants. Come on back with us. Sports is brought to you by your 7 neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. By King Soopers, more value for the way you live. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at southwest.com. Quite warm today. Driving here middle of the afternoon. It's at 97 on the old car thermometer. That's warm. Jolie Chassin on the jog to the Coors Field mound, looking for victory number 13 this year. First, he'll face Gregor Blanco, who's led off in all 3 ball games in this series. Angel Pagan has a hamstring injury. He's rehabbing in the minor leagues. They hope to have him back over the weekend, in fact, according to Bruce Bochy. Let's take a look at the rest of the Giants lineup for Boch. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Marco Scutaro will bat second. Brandon Belt, who had 4 hits last night, he'll bat third. Buster Posey's back in there. He had the night off. Hunter Pence, who had that monstrous home run. Pablo Sandoval hit his first home run since July 12th yesterday. Brandon Crawford, Roger Kieschnick again in left field. Madison Bumgarner on the hill. Here's tonight's Farmers Insurance game plan. George, what do you have?
Well, 23 and counting. We mentioned it in the open for Chacín to shorten up the innings, do what he's done this year. 23 double plays turned behind him when he's on the mound, second in the National League. You take a look at what he's going to offer this Giant ball club tonight. Fastball ranging close to 90, the slider changeup and curveball. His last 10 starts, he's gone 5 and 4. 2.69 earned run average, 67 innings, only 18 walks, 66 hits over that span.
Those things have cooled off into the 80s now at first pitch. In on the corners with Blanco, who will slap the baseball a little bit in the first pitch of the evening. Misses ball 1. Said it slipped into the 80s, not appreciably though. It's 88 degrees.
This is like wintertime in Oklahoma. I mean, it's been 97, humidity 85. In Colorado, they're not quite used to the 97 with a little bit of humidity. Players aren't used to it. You get here 4 or 5 days, you're used to that comfort zone at night of 75 and beautiful at the ballpark. Still pretty, just a little warm.
Swung on and missed. Chacín strikes out Gregor Blanco to begin things. Let's check the Rockies defensively. They're brought to you tonight by Excel Energy. We bring you the energy you need so you can live the life you want. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. In the outfield, Charlie Culberson's in left. Blackman is in center for Dexter Fowler. Dexter still gimpy with that name. Michael Kadyr's in right. Arenado, Tulowitzki, LeMahieu, Rosario in the infield with Yorvi Torrealba back behind the plate. And welcome back, Yorvi. He's on the 7-day concussion list for 9 days. He was active yesterday, did not appear. It's in there for a strike on Marco.
You see already you're going to be a high strike zone from home plate umpire Eric Cooper. Take advantage, elevated fastball. You realize that it just gives you another avenue to get hitters out up in the zone.
Scutaro kind of committed the cardinal sin. He called time and backed out. Time has to be awarded by the home plate umpire. Eric Cooper did that. Here's the 0-1 on Marco. Ground ball to short. Troy Tulowitzki's there. 2 outs. Here are the umpires tonight. Cooper, Schreiber, Fairchild, and crew chief Jeff Kellogg. We were talking last night about Jeff Kellogg being one of 4 umpires that have worked behind home plate for multiple no-hitters. He's worked 2, including Ubaldo Jimenez. Well, Eric Cooper is the leader of that group. Eric, behind home plate, has worked 3 no-hitters. And the wild thing about Cooper and being behind the plate for no-nos, he had Hideo Nomos when he was in the American League, not the one against the Rockies. And he had both of Mark Burley's, his no-hitter and his perfect game.
So I'm saying it's a pretty good idea that if this group comes to town, there's a chance, a better than average chance of a no-hitter.
It seems that way. And if Mark Burley's on the mound, he's smiling ear to ear if he sees Eric Cooper behind the dish.
Understandable.
1 ball, 1 strike on Brandon Belt. Two and 1 on Belt. He hit 4 bullets for singles yesterday, and then in his 5th at bat, he hit the best ball he hit all night.
Boy, he did, didn't he?
A drive to the warning track that Michael Kadir made a very nice kind of leaping catch on. 2-1.
Boy, this is no fun if you're Torrealba. If it stays inside the net, it's not going to. It's getting about 20 rows up over that blue sky, high sky.
You know where that landed, George?
About 8, 9 rows back.
That landed right where your maximum distance is on your Cracker Jack throws.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's about right there.
In here. This is the scout section right here.
That's about where you max out.
This is Dave Klipstein right here, and I hit him in the head last night. He told me that at dinner.
2-2. Curveball swung on and missed. They checked it out at third base with Jeff Kellogg. 2 punch outs in a 1-2-3 beginning for Jhoulys Chacín. We'll come back, check out the Rockies offensively. For Jhoulys Chacín. Now the Rockies will look at Madison Bumgarner, and they'll look at him in this fashion. Charlie Blackmon will lead things off. Charlie, a home run against Barry Zito the other night. And here's the rest of Walt Weiss's lineup presented by Southwest Airlines. DJ LeMahieu will be in the spot that he is most familiar with. He'll bat second. Troy Tulowitzki will bat third. Then Kadire, Rosario, Nolan Arenado 6, Yorvik Torrealba 7, Charlie Culberson will bat 8. Then, as you can see, Charlie Blackmon over his last 9 games hitting just under 350. Madison Bumgarner has been the most consistent Giant starter this year, and it's not really close.
It's not even close at all. Against the Rockies, 7-4 in his career. 2-1 this year, but an earned run average at .519. Now, the club has lost 4 of his last 5 starts. But when you go 8 innings, give up 3, you're supposed to win those kind of ball games. Here's the slider. He'll utilize that to get on that back foot of the right-handed hitters. Fastball 91 average, and then the changeup, which he'll turn and roll away from the right-handed bats. 171 innings pitched this year for Madison with 162 strikeouts.
Well, George, you mentioned the other day, you're right. I mean, they haven't had runs for him. In the 8th inning, he's throwing a shutout against the Pirates. And our good buddy Clint Barmas came to the plate with 2 on. That's way outside. And here's what happened.
They got that low and in heater, just dropped the head on it in San Francisco and out of the yard. Madison can't believe it. Giants couldn't believe it.
And a 3-1 victory based on that home run by Barmas. 2-0 pitches in there, 2-1 on Charlie Blackmon. Dexter Fowler, by the way, he's not going to play in the next couple of days. Well, first of all, tomorrow's an off day, so that's a good thing. But in talking to Walt Weiss before the game, he's still pretty gimpy moving around. And somebody asked Walt if September call-ups weren't literally a few days away, would this potentially be a DL situation? And he said it could have been potentially. So,
well, it's still pretty gimpy. I mean, it's sore. Not able to go out and play right now. So you see Dexter talking to Walt, Jimmy Wright as they stand there at the dugout.
And we show you the place where he got hurt sliding in, and it looks very benign. I mean, it's a normal slide, but came down hard on that knee. And if you've never been, and most people probably haven't been on a major league infield, and the surface is great, but it's a hard surface.
Well, it is. I mean, you have to have it that way so you can have your footing. You get really soft, mushy. Guys pull muscles and everything. A lot of red clay mixed in a lot of times with the sandy loam to make it that color that it is on the infield. Raz does such a great job of adding, subtracting, keeping the levels right.
Well, the field is gorgeous, and most people who play on it feel like it may be the best infield in all of baseball. But as you said, George, it has to be hard, and that's why when you think of Ricky Henderson and the guys that have stolen a lot of bases, it is so hard on their bodies.
I go back to the days of Luke Brock playing on AstroTurf all those years and having that many stolen bases.
Crazy.
Amazing.
3-2 right now on Blackman. Madison Bumgarner wanted a fresh set of signs from Buster Posey. Big, strong North Carolina country kid. Still in the offseason, lives in his hometown. Kind of a slinger, George. That's how I always describe
Yeah,
him.
real long arm action. He's had that. He used to be a little more across his body, get more deception to the left-handers. He's a little bit better on line right now. I was trying to think here back to Asheville when he threw the no-hitter in the playoffs, and he did it against Bruce Billings, who's now pitching for Oakland and AAA, been to the big leagues a little bit. Threw the no-hitter in the first round of the playoffs. I was trying to think if Charlie was on that team. Blackman.
Strike 3 on the outside corner. Kind of a delayed call by Eric Cooper.
He had a pretty good at bat honestly for Charlie. 9 pitch at bat for him. Kind of works a little bit farther down into the ball game. That seemed a little bit low on the outer half, and good enough to be strike 3. You take a peek at it on the overhead and watch the flight of the baseball. They're looking at it come across the plate, not where it ended up so much. Tip your hat and head to the dugout.
So 1 out. DJ LeMahieu will come up. DJ last night 1 for 5 and a ribby. Takes ball 1. 3 for 9 thus far in the series. And that's in there for a strike. Rockies have had their problems with left-handed starters this year. They're 11 games beneath 500 against left-handed starters, 18-29. Game over 500 against right-handed starters. You know how you know the record's deceiving, as George mentioned in the open, of 11-8. First you look at the ERA, 2.84. And that's going to eat up Brandon's belt. LeMahieu is going to make the turn, head to second. And Pence doesn't have a play. DJ at second base. E3 sets up LeMahieu in scoring position with 1 out.
Well, for me, Brandon Belt just didn't play it well. Ball was not hit hard. He stayed in his tracks, didn't move, but it's a couple of steps over. Now he's going to try to backhand pick. For me, you got to get in front of the ball. He's not hit that hard and keep it if you have to. Take it off your chest.
Yeah, he knew he was going to get kind of an in-between hop, and you're right, George. You got to just knock that thing down. Finish my thought on Madison Bumgarner. The 2 places or statistics you look at and realize his 11-8 record probably should be much better. The ERA 2.84. The opposition's hitting just 2.02 against him.
2.02. Think about that, folks. 2 out of every 10 get a hit. The other 8 are making a turn.
Yep.
You want to know why he has an ERA under 3?
Yeah, really. And deservedly so. He was an all-star this summer. So was the guy at the plate, Troy Tulowitzki.
And only 14 home runs given up in 171 innings.
Troy's had success against Bumgarner at .313 average. I was chatting with him before the game about Madison, and he has great respect for him, and not just because of the stuff. He said there's some guys that you could just tell have bulldog in them.
They have the look.
Yeah, and he said that about Bumgarner.
Well, I've never spoken to Madison about it. The rumor during the draft when he was coming out was that his mom wasn't even sure he could make it. You know, always been around the country lifestyle and everything. I'm just not sure he could make it. Bochy said he's one of the toughest guys on the ball club when it comes to mentality. And again, that was all put to rest. Pitching in the South Atlantic League, moving to AA. And there was another guy with him, went in the first round, Tim Alderson, that won 14 games also. And it was kind of one of those deals where, all right, who are we going to keep, who we're not? We're going to make a trade. They made a trade with Pittsburgh. And they sent Alderson to Pittsburgh and obviously made a choice here. And Alderson kind of has floundered between high A to AAA in the last 3 or 4 years, while Madison has put in 5 years at the big league level.
And I remember from afar, that was a tough decision. 3-1 and a broken bat. One hopper that took a funny spin. Crawford stay with it, and they're 2 outs. That'll bring up Michael Kadire. Get back to that story in a moment. Today's defense for the Giants brought to you by Excel Energy. Make the choices that fit your life, and Excel will provide you the energy to power it. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Kieschnick, Blanco, Hunter Pence in the outfield, same as last night. Sandoval, Crawford, Scudero, and Belt. That's also the same. The only difference is Hector Sanchez, who caught a good game and swung the bat well last night, is given way to a fellow by the name of Buster Posey, who has a decent resume. Kadire last night had his 10-game hitting streak snapped. Michael went 0 for 4. Got partially robbed in his final at bat. I say partially because Scudero went in the hole, made a really good play. Not a phenomenal play, but a good play to take a hit away. And Kadire loops his foul. Going back, George, to your topic of who they were going to trade, Alderson or Bumgarner.
And Alderson's a 6'7" right-hander that threw out of it's at Lookout Mountain or whatever in Phoenix, high school kid.
Yeah, and both numbers, they were like the 2 top pitchers in minor league baseball that year. Forget just the Giants.
Right.
They were the best in minor league baseball from a number standpoint.
Well, do you remember in September that year they actually brought them both to San Francisco, and a lot of the media was putting pressure because Frisco wasn't in it, putting pressure to activate them and let them pitch in September, and they haven't pitched past AA yet.
Yeah.
And they ended up trading Alderson and keeping Bumgarner.
And he's become a star, and Tim Alderson is
floundered. Yeah. What is the word? That's a fish.
You got it right the second time. 2-2, but you never know. And a lot of guys who've done well in the minor leagues, hasn't worked out in the big leagues, and it may down the road for Alderson. Who knows? Dyer hit .395 during that hitting streak. Michael's 3 for 9 lifetime against Bumgarner, so he's had success.
By the way, Tim Alderson now pitching for the Baltimore Orioles organization. He's 5-3 with a .364. He spent time in the Eastern League and in the International League. He was traded earlier in the year.
2-2. 3-2. DJ LeMahieu reached on an error by Belt, turned into a 2-base error. He's at second base with 2 outs. 95th error committed this year by the Giants. They have been horrendous defensively. Foul tips held by Posey. So Bumgarner gets his second strikeout, and the Rockies do not capitalize on the miscue. Buster Posey will lead things off against Jolie Chassin. Tonight's sideline report is brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company, a ready-to-eat energizing superfood you can add to any dish that's healthy and delicious. And Mark Stout with us on the sidelines as always. Mark.
Hey guys, let's talk a little bit about the Rockies' arms, and in particular the 4 top starters for this team and how they have done this year. You see their numbers there, their win-loss numbers and the ERA. When you combine them, the ERA for this starting staff is a run and 44 lower than last year. And when you take the starts that these 4 have made too, the team is 53 and 39 when those 4 hit the hill, guys. So obviously you can point a finger at that fit spot, and that's been the problem this year.
Yeah, Mark, it's really, I shared those numbers with Bruce Bochy shooting the bull behind the batting cage this afternoon, and he looked at me and his eyes, lifted as if in disbelief, because they're really startling. This may be playable down the right field line, and Rosario, that's a good play, George, a real good play for a guy who hasn't been over there that much.
Well, you always feel like you're going to track something over and you keep waiting for the second baseman has a better angle to take it, but this ball is too close to the wall. Rosario checks the wall, catches the pop fly for the out, and able to get Buster Posey out of there with no damage done.
Let's see what Todd get. Todd's the master of the poker face. If we get a facial reaction from Todd in the dugout. Here's Pence. Fastball just missed. It's a good play sitting next to Brian Jordan, Rockies strength coach. I asked Todd the other day, I said, how's Willeen coming? Can he play over there? And he said, no question. He's obviously a really good athlete. People may not realize that. He is very athletic, and he has good hands, field ground balls.
Well, he's listening very well to Stu Cole, who's doing all the work with him over there at first. Matter of fact, today the Rockies had no batting practice. And by not having batting practice today, Stu had him out early today working it at first base. He had 2 buckets of baseballs to him, which have about 100 balls in it. Fielding with men on, fielding not with men on. Fake toss with a runner coming down the line on a ground ball. Because Stu, an infielder, has done an awful lot of work with this infield this year. Today it was all spent with Rosario before the ball game.
Got to break out the Buddy Bell drill on him. Here's the 3-2. Pence strikes out. Number 3 for Chassin. Ability, George, to throw your whole arsenal for strikes in any count.
Well, that's what he's done here, and this is the hard breaking ball. Breaking ball right on the outside part of the plate, beyond the length of swing for Hunter Pence on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. That really allows you to see it.
We had the pop-up there that kind of interrupted the end of Mark's story. Bochy just couldn't believe that there was that big a disparity. The first 4 in the Rockies rotation, you're 14 games over 500. If you're just 500 with the rest of your rotation, then you're in the playoff hunt. You're in the middle. You're in the thick of the playoff hunt.
3 back right now is what it all. When you set out and figure it all out, you're about 3 games back. That's how good it is.
Two 2-0 on Kung Fu Panda. Home run in the first yesterday. Three and 1 on Panda. Giants with that victory last night against the Rockies, now 30 and 22 inside the division, very similar to where the Rockies are. Rockies are 31 and 26 inside the division.
And not to pick on people, but what Drew's talking about, when you take everybody from Colin McHugh 0-1, Pomeranz 0-4, Oswald 0-4, Manship 0-4, these are all guys that have started in that spot. 0-3 for Bettis. And then you look at Garland 4-6, Francis 2-5. So, that's what you're talking about when you look at it at 6 and 27.
Strike 3, and Torrealba will get to the baseball, and he throws to his
but that's the difference of being, right where you're at, 3 or 4 games back in the run, in the hunt, and not in the hunt.
And that doesn't include no decisions where the Rockies' loss later on in the ballgame was handed to the bullpen, perhaps. Willeen Rosario's in the batter's box, and Madison Bumgarner's first pitch to Willeen is in there for a strike. Fastball. 0-1 on Willeen, who was 3 for 4 last night. He's 4 for 8 in the series. Couple of doubles, hitting .308 against Southpaws this year. Mark did a piece on Willeen in the open, and those numbers you just saw: 20 home runs, tied with J.P. Arancibia for most home runs among catchers in baseball. The 71 RBIs is #1. No catcher in Major League Baseball has driven in more runs than the sophomore for the Rockies, Rosario. This is going to drop. And that 285 average will move up a little bit more. Who wants tacos? Remember, when the Rockies score 7 or more during any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6. Get your Rockies taco special. I'll bring up Nolan Arenado. Nolan also 4 for 8 in the series. He had 3 hits on Monday. He had a knock last night and scored a run. Little 3-game hitting streak going. And he's become one of those guys, Frage, when we come into the clubhouse in the afternoon and look at the lineup, you don't look at who's playing third. You know who's playing third. He's in the lineup every single day, kind of like the right fielder. And
he's usually the guy coming back into the locker room sweating from down hitting in the cages.
Yep.
Works at it hard every day.
He and Troy Tulowitzki have developed a strong bond. Nolan really looks up to Troy and adopted some of his work ethic, which is a good thing. 1-1. Inside, 2-1. Tonight, game number 135 for the Rockies. This ball is well hit left center field. Blanco going back, not going to get there. Short hops the wall. Green light for Rosario. And the throw to the plate's going to be way late. Run scoring double Nolan Arenado, and the Rockies take a 1-0 lead. Boy, those two guys just continue to click, don't they?
And caught a break, too, because this ball normally hit as far as Nolan hit it, and it was smoked into center field. The Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo watched the rotation on the baseball, trying to cut the ball to the inner half. Nolan, good job clearing the front side out of the way and allowing those hands to get to the baseball. A really good job. Off the bat, thought it might have a chance to lead the yard and give the Rockies a 2-0 lead. But it hit far enough, so it short hopped that wall instead of getting into the seats. If it gets into the seats, you got second, third. Instead, it's 1-0.
Tell you what, Blanco George did a heck of a job taking that ball off the wall.
Two good relay throws into Crawford. Crawford on into Posey.
Here's Torrealba with the ribby out there. One hopper to Sandoval. He'll hold Nolan at second. And there is your first out of the inning. Comes the former Giant Charlie Culberson in to compete against his ex-employers.
September 3rd, Dollar Hot Dog Night at the ballpark. The first 10,000 are going to receive a coupon good for a Hebrew National Dollar Hot Dog. Get your tickets now for that ball game against the Dodgers. That's the first 10,000 on September the 3rd.
On Culberson. Slowly hit to short. Crawford up with the baseball, and he throws out Culberson. Brandon Crawford with a nice play. Crossing to third is Arenado, and that'll bring up Chacin with 2 outs.
And not an automatic out in tonight's ball game. Two pitchers that swing the bat pretty well. Bumgarner with 4 RBIs, Chacin with 3 and hitting 196.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth, George. It's not one of those, hey, just fire 3 down the middle.
Right.
Joe Leach will hurt you if you do that. Like that, hard ground ball, but Crawford will get there. That pretty well. In the inning, a base hit by Rosario, and he got to run around the bases when Nolan Arenado hit a 420-foot double. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Ford Focus. It's 40 miles per gallon of pure fun. Start more than a car. Ford Focus. Go further. by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by the Courtyard by Marriott, Western elegance in the cultural heart of the city. Rockies up 1-0 on the double by Arenado. And leading things off in inning number 3 for the Giants will be their shortstop, Brandon Crawford. Chacín, a couple of punch outs in each of the first 2 innings. 1, 2, 3 innings for Jolis. Trying to pick off win number 13. Chase down his buddy Jorge De La Rosa, who's 14-6. And a curveball dropped in there for a strike on Crawford. Brandon out of UCLA. Well located with that 91-mile-an-hour heater, and it's quickly a 2-strike count. George, you always are ripping the scouts.
I'm on them all the time.
A lot of them are in town.
One of my favorites. So Damon Inelli's in with his Midwest cross-checker. He's a little bit of Cajun. He works down there in Mississippi.
This is top toward Rosario, and he dribbled it a little bit. So Willeen, who has 8 errors on the season, will have his first at first base. The other errors were on throwing attempts behind the plate.
Well, obviously, I've been there very much. He's going to range wide over. Now, so you see DJ right behind him. One of those instances there where you don't have to go get all the baseballs. You know, it's just an eager kid, plays hard. He plays really hard. And that's where, you know, he's going to go after balls like that. But recognizing the range of DJ keeps you available at first to make the play a lot easier, and you don't get messed up on it.
That's a fair ball. So
when it's got heat and mustard all over it, it hunts you down.
Yeah. Right now the ball finding Willeen. He just boxed that one, and now they're 2 on. Nobody out.
And the one thing you can't do is get too quick. When you get too quick at first to turn the double play, ball's hit, see him starting to turn a little bit, jabbed at the baseball versus just let it come into your ball glove. Jabbed it closed early, the ball popped out of it, now everybody's going to be safe.
And now they'll go over bunt defense. Bumgarner at the plate. Never understood when a guy throws lefty how he hits righty.
Randy Johnson, same thing.
Yeah, especially as a pitcher. Put that elbow guard on. Rockies are going to catch a break here. Midfield fly rule was put in effect there.
Well, that's where you trip, fall, and everything else.
Yeah, too late.
Too late? Okay.
One out. So Rockies will take that. Gregor Blanco at the plate. Blanco struck out his first time.
Well, that's again when you're talking about shorten these innings up. Shorten an inning up with the double play ball. Chacín with 23. So Chacín being able to turn the ball over, second to Wainwright in the National League right now. I'd like to have one here. You got speed at the plate. It's not going to be easy.
In terms of percentage of double plays, when Chacín's on the hill, he does a marvelous job. He's 4th in the National League. George mentioned Adam Wainwright. There's actually a Rocky ahead of Chacín. That's Tyler Chatwood. Really good news to report on. Here's Tyler. Pitched last night, pitched well in Colorado Springs. His next start will be in the big leagues. The Rockies didn't say exactly when, but you can figure about 5 days away, somewhere in that time frame. He's going to be on the hill.
Just figure Tuesday, probably going to be out there Sunday or Monday. Pretty simple. Five plus innings last night, 1 run.
0-2 on Blanco. Right now, Jolis trying to pick up Rosario at first. What you hope with a guy that doesn't have much experience at all at first base, it doesn't get in his head.
Oh, it won't get in his head. Continued hustle is going to continue to hustle. I mean, that's just the way the guy operates. But good pitchers pick up bad plays behind you. You know, you have an error behind you, you just don't worry about it. Get ready for the double play ball. I mean, that's the way your minds have to work. The good ones is what they do. Both those guys came over to the United States together in 2007. It's been a while. They came over and pitched for Casper Ghost.
It remains an 0-2 count on Gregor Blanco.
Another great night at the ballpark. See an awful lot of people here at the yard.
Tried to get him to chase up. It's 1-2.
Well, remember last night when he struck him out one time, they elevated up and out of the zone to get him to chase that. Difficult for a left-handed hitter to get on top of a fastball from a right-hander up and away.
Two and two. The first mound conversation I've seen, George, in 6 years that didn't involve gloves covering faces.
Top secret. You know, it's all top secret. You can't let anybody know anything.
Two. Got him.
Second time he's been able to drop the back foot slider on him and get the strikeout.
Now they're 2 outs. Scudero coming up. Here's tonight's Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index. National League wins leader since June the 1st. Zach Greinke's been on quite a roll. He's got a nice team behind him. Francisco Liriano's been nails all year, and then Jolice Chassin along with Chris Medlin of Atlanta.
Medlin back to the way he was a year ago, where he's just unstoppable. Prior to that, he went and pitched very well for Atlanta.
Got a bear down here with Scudero. You know he's going to get it in play. One of the toughest men in baseball to strike out. And there's a tailing fastball. Zip on that, Frazier, at 93.
Well, he can go get the extra, but he's comfortable at 88, 91 with a lot of movement. Now all of a sudden you pump a 5-mile-an-hour to that fastball with the movement. You get the attention of a veteran like Scudero.
Marco just 3 for 15 lifetime. Brandon Crawford at second, Kieschnick at first. Both reached on errors by Willeen Rosario.
And I like the fact of what the Rockies are doing right now. A lot of times they'll try to pick in this situation with a runner out at second. They're holding the defense steady because they know they have a single ball guy on the mound. So if he's going to put the ball on the ground, the last thing I need to be doing is moving around at short or second on trying to get an attempted pick and not get back to my position.
Marco hit it on the ground to short his first time. Here's the 1-1. Out in front, it's 1-2.
Nasty. Hard slider, bottom fell right out of it. Made a left turn when he got to the plate on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. Watch the rotation of this baseball. It appears to be the fastball. And then when the ball breaks outside of the swing pattern of the bat, in other words, outside to where the bat couldn't reach it if it wanted to. A lot of late action on it. Going to bury that sinker down and in on Scudero. Going away. Ha! Trying to trick him too.
Tell you what, that just missed.
Torrey Albert sets way in and then jumps to the outside because you got a veteran guy at the plate that likes to steal location, as a lot of veteran players like to do. So that you got another guy out at short that knows what's going on also. So a lot of late movement. Wow.
3-2.
You see on the fourth strike zone just off the edge, but such a nasty pitch. How do you take it? And get it on the overhead. It's a ball. I mean, it's not a strike, but boy, it's close enough for 2 strikes. I think you'd be hacking.
Well, you know, you let one go by, and then you may feel like you were fortunate with the umpire to let the second one go by.
Good opportunity now, that hard slider down and away. Fastball. Scudero just reacted. That was an emergency hack to keep it alive. I think he's looking slider too.
37-year-old Marco Scudero, he can still hit. 300 average.
Plays like a 25-year-old. He takes care of himself.
Huge part of that run by the Giants in the second half last year. 3-2. On the ground toward the hole. DJ LeMahieu to his feet. He's got him at first. What a play by DJ LeMahieu. So Chacin and LeMahieu pick up Rosario. No damage done by the 2 errors in the inning. That's as good a play as you will see by a second baseman going to his left. Double. They've kept it 1-0 behind great pitching from Jolie Chacin and a wonderful defensive play a moment ago by DJ LeMahieu. Rockies fans, we like to answer your questions in the 5th inning. Here's how it works. Text Toyota followed by your question to 720-720, and then we'll get to as many as we can in the 5th inning. That's Toyota Talk. Madison Bumgarner working to Charlie Blackmon. Charlie leading off and probably get a few more opportunities in that spot while Dexter Fowler rests that bruised knee. That's fouled off down the left field line. We welcome you upstairs with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. Damon Ionelli joins us. Damon's been with the organization since 1995 as a scout, and he's now a Midwest cross-checker. People at home that may not be as baseball savvy as some are wondering, okay, what a Midwest cross-checker? What's that mean?
Well, basically, it means that February the 1st, I leave the house and jump on an airplane, and I come home after the draft.
Well, and what he's doing, further explain this a little bit, is I'm an area scout, and I've got a guy I really like a lot. And then I'm going to sell it to Billy Schmidt. I need you guys to come see this guy. And then he calls Damon and says, all right, I need you in Oklahoma on Monday. I need you in California on Tuesday. I need you in Nebraska on Wednesday. No, you're not going home. Thursday, you're going to, and it's a total deal from that put forward. And I want to say something real quick about Damon, and because he does work hard, and there's no question about all the scouts do that work for the Rockies. But the most, I think I got an answer already from having breakfast with him. Your proudest guy out on the field right now is probably Corey Dickerson, because it was a late round draft pick, and he's forced his way to the big leagues with the ability to hit the ball.
Really proud of Corey. Later pick, drafted him the first year just to kind of follow him through the summer. He came back, had a phenomenal year. We drafted him. He's a blue collar kid.
High drive, deep right field, stay fair. It is a foul ball.
Yeah, George, good story. Just a hard worker, loved baseball, and when you get to see him here on the field, it's a real proud moment. And you're really happy for the kid.
He's from your neck of the woods because
right
you live
down
in
the road.
Mississippi, and of course.
Could you tell he was from the South, or was there a giveaway or anything?
Well, the good story about Corey is we drafted him and he was going to sign, and all of a sudden there was some doubt, and my wife was out, so I had to get my son, who was probably about 8 or 9 at the time. I said, let's go. We're going to sign Corey. And so we drove down to Brookhaven, about 30 miles, got him done. We just had to go down and talk to him and reassure him of a few things. And he wanted to go out and have his signing dinner at Popeye's Chicken. So we went to Popeye's in Brookhaven, Mississippi, and we ate biscuits with honey.
So he's a cheap date, too, huh?
He was a cheap date, and great kid.
He is a great kid.
Did you use any slap your mama sauce on the chicken while you were there?
No, we use honey. And to this day, when my son goes to Popeyes, he says, they said, what do you want? He goes, I want 2 biscuits and 1 honey. So he's real. That's Corey's his man. And knowing I was coming out here, he said, all I want is an autographed ball by Corey. I want his good autograph this time. He's a big leaguer now. He ought to know how to sign it better.
There you go. Well, follow Michael Kadyr's lead, and you'll learn how to sign an autograph properly.
That's
and
right.
It's great for all of the scouts that are here now, because whoever signed Charlie Blackmon, whoever signed these guys that have come up to the big leagues that are part of this. Even DJ LeMahieu, who came in a trade and played at LSU, you scouted, you watched, you had a relationship with DJ.
So did Eddie Santa, who brought him to the East Coast Showcase. He's out of Michigan. Eddie knew him from high school. We relied on Eddie a lot, in college to try to get more information, and it's a total team effort. Whether it's background information, whether it's me going out and cross-checking in Texas, and we all work together as a team, and that's the fun part of it. When you're all working together and the wheel's spinning in a good direction, and everybody's communicating, it makes it fun.
How difficult is it? We talk about this a fair amount, especially in June around the draft, as it's fouled off by DJ. How difficult is it? Your second set of eyes, and you hear a good report on a kid up in Muskogee, Oklahoma, and you go up there, Muskogee, whatever, Jordan. You go up there and you see him, and he goes 0 for 3, and the weather's bad, and the conditions are bad, and he looks pretty good in his uniform, but you don't have a lot to go on. You watch a little BP, or maybe they don't take BP that day because it's kind of inclement out.
Happens all the time. You have to take your ego out of it and say, it's not me and what I see on this one day to make that decision. So whether it's Jesse Retzloff, and we'll talk about what he's seen in the past and try to put the whole puzzle together. And if we see a guy bad, we'll try to go back in. But he wouldn't turn him in the first place if we didn't believe in him.
Right.
So, some days somebody will ask me, well, how do you grade defense? I say, you might go see a shortstop play, high school shortstop play. He doesn't get a ground ball hit to him. You get 3 or 4 in infield, and that's it.
Right.
So the answer is, you can come up with some scientific, trying to sound smart. Really, you're just going on your instincts, and you're kind of guessing. When you don't get that opportunity. So you have to go back to the guy that's seen him the most.
You and I, real quick, George, you and I and Eddie Santa were talking behind the cage yesterday about scouting. Now, when Matt Holliday, who George has known for years and years, when he gets off the bus, listen, my 10-year-old at home can scout Matt Holliday. I mean, he looks the part. He runs. Yeah. I mean, he's the first guy you want getting off the bus. But when you go and look at, say, I'll take a veteran guy that years ago was at Evansville, Jamie Carroll. Not going to wow you with size. Not going to wow you in BP. He runs decent, and you want to put him in and put maybe a pretty high grade on Dustin Pedroia, first-round grade out of Arizona State.
Phenomenal pick by those guys.
How much guts does it take for a scout to do that when a lot of failure in this game?
It takes a bunch, and it comes down, and it's hard to explain it, but it hits you in the gut, and you're like, that's my guy. And you might see one at bat early in the game. That's my guy. You watch Scudero right now. What is he? He's 38 years old.
Yeah.
That guy he can flat out play. And baseball players come in all shapes and sizes. I mean, we're looking at a bunch of different bodies in this field, and we're so conditioned to look for that Matt Holliday looking guy or a Sean Dunston type of shortstop. But they're not falling out of trees. And you go with the tools, you go with the baseball players, but the Jamie Carrolls are still up in the big leagues and they're outperforming a lot of guys. But somebody had a gut feel on those guys. And you got to go in, and Billy will test you on it. He'll put you to, he just don't say, hey, I got a good gut feel. He'll question you a little bit, and he knows, and he can read that.
Billy, of course, being Billy Schmidt, is vice president of scouting.
And I think the hardest thing for a scout, too, is not fall in love with the person. because then it overrides the game. You meet a kid and he's just the greatest kid in the world. You know he wants to play. He wants to get drafted. And he's trying his hardest, but he's just not there yet. You got to be careful as a scout, right? It's not falling in love with the kid.
And you just don't go watch a guy and draft him and sign him. You get to know him. You want to know some background, what kind of kid he is. And we do the best we can on all that information. So sometimes you really get a good relationship with a kid, and you worked on him all winter, and you show up in the spring, and he's not that good. And you're like, what happened here? You know, did I fall in love with something that I wasn't sure of? Or you know, you get attached emotionally. And so you have to get all that. But to get a good relationship, and a lot of these kids are great kids. Over all the years that I've scouted, I mean, the kids and the families are solid, and then you really root for them. But you do have to separate that part from the actual tools and the playability when you're watching. It's a hard thing to do. This is not an easy job.
It's not, because there's so much failure in the sport. We all know the old lines.
That's right.
You get 3 hits out of 10, you go to the Hall of Fame, you do it long enough. So there's a whole lot of scouting.
Hey, I'm trying to have a successful career based on a game built around failure. I mean, me and my buddy of mine with the Braves kind of coined that little phrase. We're like, man, we must be crazy, you know. But it gets in your blood, just like you guys up here in the booth, the players, the guys in the front office. It gets in your blood, and
as a scout for me, and I do, and Damon will call me and say, can you go look at this guy? I can't get there today. Tell me, just give me what you know about him and this and that. Today, it's a daily challenge for scouts.
Get out, Bob.
So you talk to you do that on the road too a little bit, right?
Yeah. He talks to signs and windows and deer and stuff. Anyway.
That's right. Alligators.
Alligators. But, you know, I think the difficult part of all of this is how bad can you judge what this guy's got right here? The radar gun does not judge a heart.
Boy, if I could figure that out, yeah, that is the hardest
Because you got
thing.
some of the best talent. You watch a guy on the field and got great talent. You're going, whoa, this guy's really good.
And he may not have signed with the Riders. Who's the best guy you ever scouted?
I'm glad you asked me that, because I just saw him yesterday. And most people wouldn't believe this, but Roy Oswalt, and it was great for me to see him. When I saw him as my first year scout, and he was phenomenal at Holmes Community College, 45 minutes north of my house, and you better get something to eat before you went, because there's nothing there. All right. Roy Oswalt was incredible. A lot of the older scouts that helped me as a player and helped me get into scouting, you know, he's a 6-foot right. Easy, Damon, be careful. Every time I kept going back, he was just good. And, you know, he was a draft and follow his first year. He comes back his sophomore year. Now he's up to 95, 96. And nobody hit him. Even the year before him, he was 88, 92. But Roy Oswalt was a difference maker. He was one of the funnest guys I've ever scouted. Great to see him there. And I told him, you know, Walt had said something. I said, hey, Walt, you know what? Roy's a legend in our parts, because he's a small town guy that went off, and he's had a phenomenal career. And it was great to see him. I've been trying to get him, you know, since 1995.
Well, he's here.
Yeah.
Out of Ware, Mississippi, right?
Out of Ware, Mississippi. Nobody recruited him. He went down to the junior college. It's kind of, you know, a couple counties north of me, and just a great story to see a guy from a junior college who's probably not even had 5 drafts in the history of the program get to the big leagues and have this kind of career. I'd say him, you know, out of my area. Ben Sheets was also just phenomenal, with the heart of an assassin, unbelievable stuff. And those guys, I kind of hold a lot of pitchers to their standards.
I'm trying to remember. Did you sign Juan Pierre?
No, Steve Payne signed him out of South Alabama. We used to break the area up into Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, and Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah. No, can't take credit for that one.
Yeah, we just saw Juan. That's why I mentioned it.
Another guy. He's from Alexandria, Louisiana, but he went to junior college in Texas and then went over to South. And there's a guy that's very similar, was a lower pick, just like Brad Hopp was, who wanted to be a big leaguer.
All right, here's the deal. In the booth, when we have guests in, we score a run, you get to keep. So we didn't score it. See you.
Adios.
Hold on a minute. Good to have you here, buddy.
Dave, it's great to see you, man. Appreciate it.
We say au revoir in Louisiana.
to get you tonight's Coors Light Cold Hard Fact, and it's another one that has to do with starting pitching. And I like this one. The Rockies are one of only 6 teams in the National League with 2 starters with double-digit wins. You've there, the other De La Rosa. And the Rockies and the Phillies are the only teams with a losing record. In fact, the top 3 are all division leaders. So, again, guys, we've been talking about how the starting pitching just overall has been better this year for the Rockies, immeasurably from last year.
Hey, listen, that's an interesting graphic. And, you know, they could have another guy join them soon in that Nicasio's 8-6. Chatwood 7-4. So you never know. Rockies at the end of the year, things go right for those two. Could end up with 4 guys in double digits with wins. The rotation, talking to Troy Tulowitzki earlier, the rotation, those first 4 guys have really done a nice job. Nicasio, since being sent out, has come back, and he's been a different pitcher. That ERA improvement from a year ago, and where it sits right now, historically, is something very interesting. Brandon Belt draws a walk. The Rockies last year had a miserable season, as we all know, and this game will always begin and end on the mound. A 5.81 ERA. This year it's down to 4.37. That's an improvement of basically a run and a half, 1.44 runs. It's the biggest improvement in baseball this year. And you look at the Red Sox, their improvement, they're going to go to the postseason. The Indians are in contention. The Royals have been much better this year. And the Pirates are going to go to the postseason.
Yeah. Well, their pitching's much better than what it was. Obviously, I think their bullpen's stronger. Pittsburgh winning 7-1 at Milwaukee. The Dodgers won 4-0. Nolasco goes deep into that ball game. Cincinnati just crushed St. Louis 9-0. That ball game's just in the 5th inning.
Yeah, and they needed to do that, George, after losing the first 2 ball games.
Yeah, they need to make that statement before they head over here to take on the Rockies this weekend. If you haven't bought your tickets for ball games, the remaining homestand here, you should.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Cincinnati, St. Louis, and Dodgers. I mean, it's not much better.
No, I'm really looking forward to that Cincinnati series. Dusty Baker's team. Try to score early and stay away from the lefty in the 9th inning, George.
You're not kidding.
Oh-2. Double play ball. Tulo, he had to retreat, and he whiffed on it, and Belt's going to end up at 3rd. Where the Rockies normally have as good an infield defense as there is in baseball, and they've not been good tonight. Rosario has 2 errors, and now Troy did not handle that topspin ground ball.
And it's a clean up the bases double play. A couple of hops here. That last one had a little more topspin to it. Looked like it hit right off the heel. Let's look on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Bowl. Tried to snatch, closed a little bit early. An error on Troy, his 6th of the year.
Now Chacin, with nobody out, is really going to have to be a magician. Hunter Pence
struck out in his first at bat on some sliders.
And that's Posey running. Buster's a good athlete, but you know, the legs tighten up, all the catching you do, especially as we near September. It's going to be a double play.
Absolutely.
You can't assume that from a scorekeeper standpoint, but it's 2 outs, nobody on. Pence at the plate. Instead, it's 2 on, nobody out. 1-1.
Look at the swing here. I want to show you something. This is why you go to the slider on Pence. He's looking dead red fastball in. Mike Shaw Subaru. Watch his front side. Everything's moving out of the strike zone. There's no way he's going to get to the baseball in the outer half.
Two and one. Been 4 base runners, 3 on errors, and the leadoff walk by Belt. That's it against Jolis. 2-1. 3-1.
The two, what happens, the walk and then the error. And it's hard to track this. We'll try to. I'm not sure how many pitches he had before Pence come to the plate. 3-1 count, 4 of them. He hadn't fouled one off, so he had 54 pitches. You wonder how many more it would count. How many more it's going to tack on to you because you don't turn the double play.
Well, this is going to get turned. Good throw by Tulowitzki. The run scores. It'll be an unearned run, and there's 2 outs. George, seeing you can't pitch better than this because he had to get 5 outs last inning, and he's going to have to get at least 4 outs this inning.
Tough situation to be in, but that's what your veteran guys do. Your tough #1 guys do. They are able to pick up their teammates. Now you got nobody on base. You go right at Pablo Sandoval.
And that is the 24th double play turned behind Jhoulys Chacín. Second to Adam Wainwright in the National League. Keep in mind, Jhoulys was on the DL earlier this year with a little strain in the upper back. And it was ideal, George, that it was hit initially to DJ. And then you get the huge arm of Tulowitzki to fire to first with a guy who can run at Pence. Tulo going out, Culberson, and it'll be Troy. So the Giants tie it up. It's an unearned run as the Rockies have made 3 errors in the game. Jhoulys Chacín has been marvelous. We'd like to welcome all our PC Telecom viewers from Holyoke, Colorado. We at Root Sports thank you very much for watching the Rockies. Visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSportsRM so you can tell us your favorite place to root for the Rockies. Willeen Rosario fouls off Madison Bumgarner's first pitch. Run on 3 hits for the Rockies, 3 errors. 1 run, no hits, and an error on the Giants. Wrote down a note, George, that has not played out the way you think it would tonight. That's fouled off. Infield errors. The infield for the Giants tonight, not including the catcher, Posey, had made 48 errors. For the Rockies, excluding Rosario and inserting Helton, because Todd's the one who plays there most of the time. Willeen's only been there less than a handful of times. They had made 17 errors.
Oh, big difference.
17 versus 48. And then, you know, the ball finds Willeen a couple of times. He's still learning the spot over there. And then Troy, who, you know, makes an error about every 2 months, makes one. Deep in the hole, Crawford long throw, and it's accurate.
Very impressive player.
He is an impressive glove man. at short. I would agree with you 100%. Nolan Arenado's coming up. Let's take a look at our AT&T trivia question on this Wednesday evening. Who's that in the house?
Oh,
George, go find out. Mark, find out his name. Good looking pooch.
you want him to come down and see you?
Yeah.
Bring the dog down, Mark.
Yeah. On this date, 1970, the San Francisco Giants, it's highlighted, that has to be an operative portion of this. All-time wins leader, notched career win number 200. Can you name it? And the bonus is, who's the franchise all-time wins leader? That would include the many years playing at the Polo Grounds in New York.
And if you win and you have the correct answer, you get to take Fido for a walk in the park.
Pablo Sandoval fires across the diamond, and Arenado's retired. Next up, Yorvi Torrealba. Well, Yorvit's all fired up for that Rocky Mountain showdown between CU and CSU. Huge CSU fan. So,
the dog?
Well, no, Yorvit. How did Yorvit get aligned with Colorado State?
With you.
Well, I root for both programs to do well. My wife went to CSU.
Where's
There's a
Ithaca
strike.
playing this weekend?
I have no idea. But
Well, what do you mean? That's your school.
I know, but I have no idea. Now, the reason Yorvit's such a big Rams fan is he has a real close relationship with Scotty Garrett, the Rockies' assistant trainer, and a great one. And Scotty said, I'm not taping your ankles anymore. This is about 7 years ago. I'm not doing anything for you until you root for the Rams. I'm kidding on that part. But he kept giving him green and gold paraphernalia. This ball toward right center field. Pencil cut it off. Well hit by Torrealba. So Yorvit on most days is wearing some sort of green and gold. Ram Nation will appreciate that. And they'll appreciate the Rockies dugout, as we try to do on Wednesday nights. Walt Weiss kind enough to join us. Walt, that Chacin's pitching pretty well again for you.
Yeah, Jolie's doing a great job. He picked us up a couple of times. We haven't taken care of the ball very well tonight, but Jolie's did a great job picking us up.
That's what good pitchers do, though. Whenever you do get an error behind you, he's the first to look and say, hey, here comes another one. Let's flip this thing again.
Yeah, and his body language stayed strong. Great demeanor on the mound, and you know, he bowled his neck and got us out of the inning. So, yeah, that's a sign of a good pitcher, and the defense folks pick up the pitcher when they make mistakes.
Hey, real quick, Nolan Arenado a couple innings ago, real good AB again against a tough customer in Madison Bumgarner. Got the bat head out. He's got pop, doesn't he, Walt?
Yeah, he does. It shows up every once in a while. You know, he's so good at staying in a big part of the field, shooting the ball the other way, but every once in a while you get that ball in the inner half, and Nolan can hit a long way.
Walt, we appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, guys.
Walt Weiss downstairs, and as we go to the top of the fifth inning, it'll be the bottom third of the Giants lineup. Brandon Crawford will lead things off. He reached on an error by Rosario to lead things off in the third inning. And breaking ball's a little bit high from Chacin. It's our Toyota Talk inning also.
It's not totally dark yet. It can't be. Tells you what Bumgarner and Chassin have been doing.
Hey, Frazier, you think all the extra pitches Jolis has had to throw, he's still right on target at 15 pitches an inning. He's in the low 60s here at the beginning of the fifth.
Well, think about it, 61, so only threw 7 more after the error. You know, that was good that they were able to work out of that inning and be able to turn the next pitch, was a double play. They got out of it. Then right after that, able to get the ground ball, or short fly ball, I should say, to Tulowitzki. So he was able to shorten that inning up completely, even after the errors. The double error by Rosario at first base earlier in the ball game, similar situation. He able to work through it and get out of it in a hurry.
1-2. Did he go? He is out. Okay, that's official. He looked down at third. Jeff Kellogg pumped his fist, and that is strikeout number 6 tonight for Chassin. Roger Kieschnick will be coming up. First question of the night during Toyota Talk. What's the most difficult pitch for a pitcher to master?
Karen, I'm going to make it real simple. When I go and do clinics all over the United States and I ask kids in a group and I'll ask coaches, best pitch in baseball. And they'll look around the room, they'll say slider, curveball, changeup, and I go, how about strike one? And that is probably the most difficult thing for guys, is to command the baseball to both sides of the plate. As they get older, it gets much better. I think, too, commanding a changeup. If you want to get a pitch selection, a changeup, a good changeup, where you can command it in the strike zone with confidence to throw behind in counts, just like Chassin did there on a slow curveball.
And finding a grip, I guess, that works for you,
grip that's
right?
happy. It depends on the size of the joint of the fingers, the length of the fingers, the width of the palm, the length of the palm of the hand. I mean, there's more that goes into it than handing a baseball and telling a guy to throw a circle change. You know, if the guy's got really enormous fingers, the way Lee Smith, the only human being I was ever around that could touch his middle finger and thumb to a baseball, all the way around the baseball and touch it. So, I mean, he could not throw a changeup. There was no chance for Lee Smith, and he didn't need to. But there's certain things you have to just fight through to teach yourself that. And a lot of times, you know, one of the games I play with kids all the time when coaching is 21 outs, because it makes them throw strikes. There's no walks. There is strikeouts, but there's no walks, and you got to get 21 outs. So go pound the baseball and do it. Switch it out with other pitchers, but you learn to throw strikes. You learn to pitch.
2-2 on Kieschnick. Strike 3. Upper portion of the zone. Aaron Cooper punches out Kieschnick. That is strikeout number 7 for Jolis.
Look at the height of this pitch. You don't see that called very often, and I don't have a problem with it. You're going to see it on slow motion here. I mean, I'm drawing a line that's a little bit below that, more about right here on the waist. You just don't see that pitch called very often.
Madison Bumgarner fouls it off. Yeah, usually mask high is thought to be above the strike zone, unless you have Dave Kingman at the plate or Giancarlo Stanton.
One thing about Kingman, you wanted to keep it low and away, and you never got the call.
Good block by Torrealba, no swing. 1-2. Tony Clark, a big strike zone also.
Yeah.
See, Ravi Cano got hit last night. His consecutive start streak ends at 176.
Yankees lose 7-2 to Toronto.
DJ LeMahieu with plenty of time. He flips over to Torrealba, over to Rosario, and it's a 1-2-3 fifth inning for Jolis Chassin. Clean through 5 innings. It's a 1-1 game. In the second inning, Nolan Arenado with Willie Rosario at first after singling. Hits a ball 415 feet off the center field wall. Willie scored all the way from first standing up. And the story of the game's been Jolie Chassin. The Rockies made 3 errors behind him. The only run came around on this double play ball. Actually, it's not that double play ball. On a 4-6-3 double play. He is not allowed a hit yet. The only legitimate base runner was the one walk he allowed, and that was to Brandon Belt. Chassin has been outstanding, in a word. Cooney Lexus, where luxury has a new address, now open in Greenwood Village. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Mark Stout, and Bumgarner's first pitch to Charlie Culberson is in there for a strike. Charlie hit it on the ground to short his initial plate appearance against his former teammate Bumgarner. Two guys from the same corridor of the country. Bumgarner from North Carolina and Culberson from Rome, Georgia. On the ground again to Crawford. He gets Culberson, who runs pretty well. Hey, we thank you for texting in your questions last half inning during Toyota Talk. Visit the Root Sports Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSportsRM. Hall of Famer Tracy Ringolsby sticking around. He'll answer another question before the conclusion of the game. He stops chit-chatting for a while.
He's in a debate every night. He's up there talking to Hugh. He said, "Do you think we can beat Nebraska?" "No, I don't think we can beat Nebraska." That's coming up Saturday for the Cowboy. He'll be in Lincoln watching that one.
Hey, you asked who the Bombers were playing, didn't you, this weekend?
Yes.
They're off. But the following weekend, they open up against Moravian.
Where are they at? Where's Moravian?
I don't know. You didn't ask. Yeah, you asked me who they were playing against.
Hey, by the way, very quickly,
I don't remember ever playing them.
Tavis Strand's last night produced tonight with us. He's getting ready to go to work for the NFL Network and for Big Fox doing NFL football. Tavis, appreciate working with you all years. We always do. Not going away. Be back next year doing some Rockies baseball. But
nobody told me he's leaving.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Well, we're gonna have a big party tonight.
Yes. Tomorrow. All day.
Tavis is, you know what? Tavis is the best. It's well deserved. He's going to go work on Dick Stockton's crew on the NFL every week. So that'll be a blast.
And a beautiful bride. Susan will be with us the rest of the way, working with us on the road.
She's thrilled because
he's got a job away from the house.
Get him on a different road trip. Here's the 2-2 on Chassin, 3-2. George, you asked Moravian, of course, is in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, like you knew. Good job, Sammy. Sammy looked it right up perfectly. That baby. One of you two Sams did it for him.
Sam Pohl is filling in for Dougie tonight. Dougie's got some back issues. We wish Dougie well. 3-2, chopped over the mound. Crawford is there. Nice pickup. You can pick it now. That's 2 outs. Anyhow, Sam handed me a note a moment ago that Ithaca was playing Moravian.
We're all pretty excited.
And thanks for the information on Bethlehem.
Very excited.
How many students and what's the breakdown? And you know, what do most kids major in? George wants
380 students, 180 male. The next Purple Money coming up September 2nd, a special 2:10 Labor Day start on that ball game where Purple win prizes, including autographed items, and the first 10,000 fans are going to receive a Rockies Purple T-shirt. We'll see you on Monday when the Dodgers come to town.
Charlie Blackmon's at the plate. Charlie's had good at-bats tonight, George. They both ended in strikeouts. And I know it sounds strange to say that, but he had a 9-pitch at-bat on a 3-2 pitch, borderline strike on the outside corner his first time, and then he hit a home run foul in his next at-bat that ended up in a strikeout also. I mean, he hit one in the second deck that was just foul.
81 pitches thrown by Bumgarner, 15 of them Charlie Singh.
He's doing his job at
Doing
the top
your
of the
job
lineup.
at the top of the order, yeah.
Yeah. Charlie, a 348 clip over his last 9 ball games. He hits one to right center, he's going to run for a while. Well, not this time. Bumgarner gets him for a 3rd time. That's 5 strikeouts for Madison. He's retired 7 in a row. 1-1 going to the 6th. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the Ford Focus. It's 40 miles per gallon of pure fun. Start more than a car. Ford Focus, go further. By Dodge. Visit Dodge.com, your local Dodge dealer today. By the Honey Smoked Fish Company, a ready-to-eat energizing superfood you can add to any dish that's healthy and delicious. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Friday night at the old ballpark, and a very good pitcher's duel in place. Kind of figured it would be. Jolie Chacin in the 6th inning facing Gregor Blanco.
Oh, by the way, Ryan Wheeler optioned down yesterday to Colorado Springs, hit a home run, a 2-run shot in the 1st inning.
Not a baby.
Down there in the 2nd game of the doubleheader. Sky Sox won that 1st ball game 4-3. Clinton picked up the win. Mathis hit a home run. Rutledge with a couple of more hits. Rutledge is 0 for 1, hit 348 right now.
In the air, center field, Blackman. Easy play. Scudero coming up. Here's tonight's injury report. It's brought to you by Connect for Health Colorado. Dexter did get an MRI on his knee. We'll learn a little bit more later on tonight. Roy Oswalt is going to pitch one more simulated game before a rehab start. And Cargo continues to take batting practice. And a decision on when his rehab will begin will be made prior to this weekend, or right around this weekend. Scudero takes a strike. Marco, a ground ball to short and a ground ball to second. Very good play made by LeMahieu, taking a hit away from him. This is hit hard. DJ's equal to the task. 2 outs. DJ has made 3 errors all year. I don't think he gets enough credit for how well he plays second base.
The range. A lot of people are worried about his range. Is he going to have enough to play there? You know, he played shortstop in college and then played shortstop the majority of the time in professional baseball. Last year, I thought he showed range when Rutledge was at short and he was at second. This year, he has been able to read hitters better, which allows him to get to balls normally he wouldn't get to. That's the best part about it. Hey, swing for the fences with a new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. Available on iPad, iPhone, and select Android devices, so you can download it free and go try it and see how you like it.
1 strike to count on Brandon Belt. 1-1. Seven in a row retired since Buster Posey reached on an error. Just missed. Curveball. And it's 2-1 on Belt. Strikeout and a walk tonight. Another curveball, and that's fouled off. 2-2. Got a good curveball, good changeup, that good sinking fastball, and when he's needed it, George, he's had a little extra mustard on that 2-seam.
Yeah, we've seen it up to 93. It's been good to see too. When you need to get that play made, the pitch made, a double play made, he's been able to pull that off. It's been a fun game to watch.
Three and 2. Infield, outfield, straight up against Belt. Here's the payoff. Yanked foul. Asked Bochy about Belt tonight. I said he's emerged this year, career high 15 home runs. He's hitting 279. I said, where will he be? I asked him. Home run, RBI, and he felt like he's going to be a 20-25 home run, 80 RBI first baseman who's got good hands at first.
Well, it was going to, you know, it was Pill, Brett, going back and forth. Who's going to be what, you know, and who's going to be the best hitter of the two. And obviously, so far, Belt has taken off. Pill's done a nice job at AAA. It just hadn't translated to the big leagues yet.
You hit 25 home runs as a left-handed hitter playing your games at AT&T. That's saying something. Another 3-2. And that almost looked like a cross-up. Anyhow, it's a walk to Belt. Second time Chacin has been careful with Brandon Belt. And that'll bring up Buster Posey. Posey fouled out the first. Nice catch by Rosario in the second inning. And then reached on an error by Tulowitzki in the fourth. 2 outs in the sixth inning. Men who've reached for the Giants have reached either on an error, or in the case of Belt, he's walked twice. Strike one on Buster Posey. Posey came in 7 for 13 lifetime against Chacin. He's now 7 for 15.
Troy Albert has brought it to the attention of the middle infield. Watch the walking lead by Belt. He's got 5 stolen bases. He's been caught twice. So as a catcher, he looked out and kind of let guys know, hey, watch the walking lead. You guys give me a heads up. He's focused on getting Posey out in this inning and shutting the inning down. But he wants to know how quick he's got to come out of there with Belt and his speed at first.
And the breaking ball's in there. 1-2.
Tulsa down 4-0 in the ballgame. They come back 4-3. Kyle Rolling at Grand Junction hit his 24th home run. Rolling now with 84 RBIs. A big year for the Tulsa Drillers.
Dealing with some injuries lately also, wasn't he?
No, a lot of injuries, dealing with a forearm recently.
1-2 swung on and missed. Chauncey strikes out Posey. That's his 8th strikeout as he is safely through the 6th inning. One game. Oh, and 1 for the Giants. The Rockies won 3-3. Colorado will have DJ LeMahieu, Troy Tulowitzki, and Michael Kadire in the 6th inning against Madison Bumgarner. Troy Tulowitzki was on our pregame show today, and if you missed that interview, I'm sure we'll be replaying it. Rockies Weekly, and that's off his foot of LeMahieu. But one of the questions that I posed to Troy earlier was about the joy of playing the game, and is it hard sometimes to find that joy in the rigors of baseball? And Troy is always candid.
This year I think I've done a better job of not worrying what people say, just going out there, playing my game, and know behind the scenes I'm doing everything I can to be out there on the field. But for a while there, I take it home with me, knowing that people, said, he's not going to stay on the field, or is he doing everything he can to, have fun out there. They see my attitude. That's me. I can't go out there and have fun like Cargo and make this game look easy. This game's not easy for me. It's a grind. I'm very serious out there, intense, and I play this game to win, and I care a lot about it. And sometimes fun doesn't make me the player that I am.
It reminds me, after that comment made by Troy, it reminds me a little bit of the late great Johnny Oates, a very close friend of mine. And he told me, he said, I could never enjoy the win. I was always worried about tomorrow. And I wore the loss all night long. And that's kind of the way Troy is. He tries to be a Hall of Fame player every single day and to help his team win a baseball game.
2 strikes a count on LeMahieu. Well, the thing that you have to appreciate about Troy is he will always tell you exactly what he thinks, even if it is not quote unquote politically correct, not exactly what a PR firm would have you say in certain situations. And the other thing about learning about Tulowitzki, he came up as a rookie, and he was in the World Series, and he was a dynamic player from Jump Street. And then his 3rd year in the league, the Rockies win 92 games. They're back in the playoffs again, and he's realized, man, it's not going to be this easy. Not only collectively, but he's learned individually. This is a good at bat that's going to end in a base hit for DJ LeMahieu. And one other note on that, just goes to show you, I think from afar, fans think, you know, players are immune to, you know, the cat calls from the stands or what they're saying on talk radio shows or what's written in the paper. And players can say all they want, I don't read, I don't look. They know. And he was very honest. Some of what he had heard, some of the negativity about, you know, Troy not being on the field because of injuries that were, you know, out of his control, they had stung him. All he heard the first few years was the Tulo chant, pretty much.
Well, and I think, too, it all goes along with signing a long-term big contract, too. People expect your expectations better than what sometimes you can go through. I mean, you look at all the different contracts around baseball, and there's people that dislike a guy because of the money he makes, not because of the type of player he is. They're just upset about it, and that's unfortunate. That's just the way it is in the way of life, almost.
Well, when he's out there and he's healthy, he is the premier shortstop in the game. Two-way shortstop in the game. He also told me that he can't wait till the off season to get back to training full time because he feels like the best is still to come, individually and collectively.
Well, part of the problem for baseball players is that we're OCD. We got it every day, you know, and when the season ends, you feel like if you're not doing something every day to get better, you're going to lose it. I mean, it's just part of that deal. You just feel that way as a player. You feel like I've got to go work out. I can't take 30 days off and go do something else. Even the guys on this ball club that do a lot of hunting, they still work out. They still do things every single day to keep their bodies in a pretty good position and for success with that. And I just think players get used to that, programmed to it, that you feel like you cheated yourself, you cheated your teammates, you cheated everybody if you're not doing something every day. And that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. But I can tell you that when you do finally retire as a player, it's kind of nice just to go at 3 o'clock. I'm going to watch NCIS today. I don't have to go to the ballpark. I'm not going to go jog. I'm going to watch American Pickers. You know, it's just kind of a relaxing thing that you go through as a player once and it takes a while to adjust to it.
He may be watching American Pickers, but at some point, in the not too distant future, Tulo's got a ways to go before he's watching American Pickers at 3 in the afternoon.
But you learn to back away from that inner drive when you're 35, 36, in Todd's case 40. Enjoy life a little bit more.
Outside 3-2 on Tulowitzki. Put DJ in motion here.
Well, I think one thing about it, Tulowitzki doesn't strike out much. He's going to put it in play, and the reason I do like it is because if something does happen, Tulowitzki puts the ball on the ground. You stay on the double play, and you got Kadire coming up. That helps you. You know, if he strikes out, you got a pretty good catcher behind the plate, but DJ's got a lot of stolen bases this year, too. With 15, he's only been caught 5 times. You got a left-hander on the mound, though, that's going to freeze you.
Takes off late and it's fouled off. Had to make sure that Bumgarner committed to go to the plate. DJ backpedaling to the bag, staring down Stu Toll. Gene Michie is throwing because the pitch count for Bumgarner's at 94 here with nobody out in the 6th inning.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, he's been throwing well at over 100 pitches and a lot of starts this year. The last one, 117. That has a lot to do with it, too.
Mayu takes off, ball 4. All that you just saw at second base was practice.
For the umpire and everyone.
2 on, nobody out for Kadire. Attention college students, faculty, and staff. Get a 2-for-1 annual ski pass good at Winter Park and Copper Mountain just by opening a new Wells Fargo checking package. See details at wellsfargo.com/ski pass. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Your old teammate Rags at the mound. Dave Righetti. It's the first walk of the night.
Well, Rags had Tommy John surgery. That's why you see the sleeve and the brace on. I said, how'd you do it? He goes, wasn't throwing, because he threw batting practice with pitchers all the time. He's been playing a lot of golf and just wear and tear of pitching, the number of innings and starts that he had, but he just had Tommy John. The conversation right now is let's get after it a little bit. Try to get you a double play ball. Get out of this thing. You're in the heart of that order. You're going to have to attack it. Let's get after it. And making sure you're okay. 5th season in the big leagues. He can look Bumgarner in the eye and look around and go, you all right? You got enough? To be honest and tell him.
Kadire has struck out twice. There's been 5 strikeouts by Bumgarner. He's got Blackman 3 times and he's got Michael twice. One and one. Here's the race for batting title. Cuddy 8 points behind Molina. Johnson at 331. So Peter in 2-1.
With the little late cut action too.
Four hits in the game. The Rockies have all 4 hits as they're at the plate in the 6th inning with nobody out in a 1-1 ball game. The Rockies have made 3 errors. Rosario on deck. Next pitch, number 100 for Bumgarner. Ground ball down the line, foul.
This Labor Day be part of the first annual Yoga Day at the ballpark. Drew, Yoga Day. Included in the ticket package is a special post-game yoga session on the field, as well as the Rockies themed yoga mat. Tickets limited, and so make sure you get on these, and they're only available online. So go online if you want tickets to the yoga ball game against the Dodgers coming out on September the 2nd.
Two. Again, he's able to strike out Michael Kadire. Can't remember the last time Kadire struck out 3 times in a game.
I don't think you're going to have to look long and hard too, because he gets really on top of this hard slider. It looks and appears going to be that fastball, but he starts it so far out of the zone and keeps it down. Just difficult pitch to hit.
Rosario, a single and a run scored in the 2nd, and also a ground ball to short. Scored on a Nolan Arenado double. That's how the Rockies got their lone run. DJ takes off for third. Posey's throw is not going to get it. Big stolen base right there by DJ LeMahieu, his 16th of the year.
Now you catch everybody napping when you're able to do that. Posey on the season, 14 of 58 now. Typically throws the ball a little bit better than that. Big jump. Posey comes out from behind, fires on the left field side. If it's on the inside in fair territory, you may have had a shot at LeMahieu. 16 stolen bases now.
Find a ball you can lift if you're Willeen.
And right now, you don't want to think about putting the ball on the ground.
Boy, that's a big bag there by LeMahieu. 1-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. And he got a pitch there, and he stayed back with his hands. Hanging curveball. 2 strikes on Rosario. This is to shallow center. It'll drop. DJ scores. Rosario makes it 2-1.
Similar to the same hit Rosario got earlier when he dropped the ball and dumped it into the outfield. 72 RBIs now, most by a Rockies catcher in the history of the franchise. He had held the record at 71, quite honestly tied. He's just tacking on to it now. And you see it.
And it has to feel, George, particularly good for Rosario because he made those 2 errors earlier in the ball game.
Yeah, make up the difference of what happened. That's kind of one of the big things you're trying to do.
Bruce Bochy to the mound. He's taken the baseball from Madison Bumgarner. Rockies up 2-1. DJ LeMahieu.
You see it coming right out of the hand of Madison Bumgarner. Second hit for Rosario. He has 2 of the 5 against Bumgarner before he exited the ball game. You see LeMahieu here after stealing second at third base, his 16th of the year, thinking about tag. Nope, got a beat, gonna watch the throw, and I come in to give the Rockies a lead 2-1 on Rosario. Excited to contribute again.
John McChee is on the hill. George, he's been back and forth 5 different times between Fresno and the big leagues.
Yeah, he's been on a yo-yo. He had been scored on 9 of his last 11 ball games, just 2 runs in his last 13 and a third. But one thing that jumped out at me is the opposition hitting .356 with runners in scoring position. The Rockies got one in scoring position right now. The Rockies pitching staff the last 2 nights have done a nice job getting ahead of the hitters, haven't been able to finish them off. A couple of starting pitchers in this situation. 61 batters faced by the Giants pitching staff, 42 first pitch strikes. That's huge. 24-0-2 counts. That's why he had tight ball games. A win last night. Right now, 2-1 ball game. Well, Arenado, this is his time of the game he enjoys. Runner in scoring position. We've seen it earlier. He drove in a run with a double. And he's got another opportunity here in the bottom of the 6th with a runner at second.
Here's Arenado, and Nolan takes ball 1. Tulo's at second. He walked. Rosario at first. 2-1 Colorado. Bottom of the 6th. 1 out. Go foul. So Nolan will come back down the line.
What Nolan did a little thing there that it wasn't looking for velocity. He wanted to see what the pitch was. He wasn't sure. It was an 83-mile-an-hour split finger that he threw. And after he hit the ball, he looked up, and after he hit first, he kind of glanced back up where they put the readings of velocity and type of pitch. And you haven't seen somebody, when the pitch comes out of the hand a little bit different, you want to see what that pitch was.
She being very deliberate. Ball and 2 strikes.
Another split finger at 84. The split's going to dive down in the zone, and by diving, you're going to catch the top half of the ball. You're going to get some swings and misses. You'll also get ground ball double plays with that pitch. That's what he's trying to do now with just 1 out.
Outside. Auto glass damage, call Safelite Auto Glass 303-287-5000, online at safelite.com. She grabs it, and it's dropped by Crawford. Everybody's safe, and the bases are loaded. This has not been the cleanest game defensively for either club.
4 errors in the ball game so far, and yet the Rockies lead at 2-1. High hop right back to Mache, then to throw down to Crawford. It didn't cut. He just took his eye off of it. I think he looked to see where Arenado was when he received the baseball. That's why he missed it. But a perfect feed on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Bowl. Able to take that feed, but it just hits off the end of the glove, cuts away from him. I still think probably looking up to see how much time he was going to have to turn to double play or throw a snap throw to third and try to get Tulowitzki with a back pick.
So Yorvi Torrealba at the plate against Machi with the bases loaded. Ball one. Yorvie, chopper to third, and then a drive to deep right center that Hunter Pence chased down. He hit that ball well. Back in the 5th inning. Check at the 4th inning. Bases full of Rockies. Here's the 1-0. 2-0. Boy, a hitter's delight. Bases loaded. You got a 2-0 count to work with. Four grand slams in Torrealba's career. The former Giant at the plate. His original club. 3-0. Now all the pressure in the world on Bacci. Bruce Bochy, a wine aficionado. Right now he'd last like a glass of cab looking at what's out there. 3-1. Tulowitzki at third, Rosario at second, Arenado at first. And the 3-1. Line drive, deep right center field. Nobody's going to catch up with this one. A one hops over the wall. And that saves the Giants one run because the trail runner Arenado was halfway to the plate. Yorvie Torrealba coming through. 2-run double for the veteran catcher.
84 RBIs now for the catchers combined with Rosario and Torrealba. This was big. On a 3-1 count, he got a shot, and he got a good shot at it too. On the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, 3-1 count, ball down in the sweet part of the bat, right in the middle of it. Torrealba just set back, waited. He looked fastball, got fastball, and made it pay with a drive into right center field.
Machio walk Culberson to load up the bases again with Chacin on deck. The Rockies up 4-1. It's Ron Wotus, bench coach, calling down to the bullpen. Getting back to the mound. Rockies entered the inning in a 1-1 game. They scored 3 times. The Giants have made an error. Chacin, who's getting ready to hit, is having a brilliant night. He is blanked the Giants.
Well, mark your calendars for the Now Country on the Rock, September the 22nd, featuring post-game concert by country music icon Ronnie Dunn. The concert will be free to all fans who have a ticket to the ball game, Rockies Diamondbacks ball game. So make sure you get your tickets today for that. You go to 303 Rockies or Rockies.com to get tickets featuring Ronnie Dunn, the country on the rocks here at the ballpark.
We'll have a Little League night, Jolice. Got a slider there. It's 0-1.
They must be friends. A little smirk and smile from Chacin also.
Mike Kickham is throwing in the Giants' pen. Got to figure Kickham will come in the game to face Blackman, who's on deck if it gets to that. 1 out, bases loaded. safe. Scored a run. Thought it was going to be a 6-4-3. And I think Scudero did as well. Gives Chacin a ton of credit. He busted it up the line and showed some good wheels. And the Rockies will move on. A 5-1 lead. An RBI for Chacin, and Blackmon will hit.
Well, a double play, even though it's not hit very hard, should be turned. But it doesn't because of the hustle of Chacin. Just beat it. His toe hit the front of that bag, barely ahead of the throw. And the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Bowl, there's the toe on the bag. The ball just shy. Good call at first base by Paul Schreiber.
Well, that play takes me back to spring training, and I'll tell you why. We get a pitch here to Charlie, 1st and 3rd with 2 outs. In spring training, Jolis was running sprints one day, and I can't remember who he was running with, but the conversation began about how well he runs, that he could really sprint for a big guy. He's 6'3", about 235 pounds. And if you watched him after his workouts run, he does run well, and it was evidenced right there, because that should have been a routine 6-4-3.
No question about it. With the pitcher up, you're thinking it is going to be that. Crawford charged the ball, try to speed things up a little bit. Well, I'll assure you one thing, that Blackmon has seen Bacci at the AAA level this year, so you know what to expect from him.
You know, and George, you described it right. Crawford came to get the baseball. Scudero didn't take it inordinate amount of time. He came across the bag, fired to first. Jolis just beat it.
That's what Drew's talking about. You know you want a chance to go. You're in the 6th inning right now. No hesitation at all by Jolis. He just took off, beat it out right there. And you know what? Confident that I'm going to do it. A little slap of the hands. I tell you, I beat it out. I knew I was going to beat it out.
That doesn't go unnoticed with teammates, George.
No, I mean, it doesn't go unnoticed when your club's in a position where it is in the standings either. I mean, people are looking at that going, hey, he's all right. He's pitched well. He's got a big league now. He could walk away from this thing and be just fine. Charlie gets out on a hard split finger at 85 miles an hour, but the Rockies put 4 on the board to take the lead in this ballgame, 5-1.
The big blow, your Torrealba 2-run double. 5-1 Colorado. As you look at that line score, you see where the 0 is situated. The Giants have an unearned run. Our AT&T trivia question once again. On this date, 1970, the San Francisco Giants all-time wins leader notched career win number 200. Can you name him? And the bonus was who's the all-time franchise wins leader going back to their days in New York. Juan Marichal went on to win 238 games. Christy Mathewson won 372. Rockies have made a defensive change. Hunter Pence at the plate. Jordan Pacheco's at first for Willeen Rosario.
More familiar with the position. Also, you're looking at the score now. You're going to keep it where it is. You don't want to get in trouble defensively now. You're trying to give Todd the night off completely.
Slider for a strike. 1-1 on Hunter Pence. Strikeout in a 4-6-3 double play. Chacin having a special night. Nobody out. Beginning the 7th inning. 85 pitches in. Got him on a high slider. That's the 9th strikeout for Jolis. Not where he wanted to pitch, but it was effective.
Got the result. When you live down with the hard breaking ball, sometimes you can get away with the hanging breaking ball, and he does just that on Hunter Pence on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mo. You see that ball well out in front. Pence, very good fastball hitter, is not adjusted to the breaking ball tonight.
Sandoval at the plate. Pablo tonight, a strikeout and a pop to short. This is popped up down the left field line, and Arenado and Culberson run out of room.
Josh Outman is throwing down in the bullpen, and again, you know, with the 0 on the board, 99 pitches thrown at this point.
Well, you know what, I said 85 a moment ago. I just read that scoreboard. It's 90. You're right. So this is number 100. And what would you think, George? A dozen more pitches at least?
At the most.
That he, no, I'm saying that he's had to throw because of the errors.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a flinch right out there at Cooper now. Where was that? Yeah, looked like caught enough of the strike zone right there when he got going like he does now.
Yeah, that's got to be a strike.
Yeah, you would think so.
Come on now.
Seems
He's
like
been good all night. Here's the 3-2, and it's popped up playable. Troy waiting in short center field. So you were suggesting if this continues, you still think he'll get yanked?
I don't think it'll let it get to 130, 140 type pitch count. If he's averaged, you know, right now you're 7 innings, you're looking at about 16. What is it? 16 almost pitches an inning. I don't know that they would let it get to 132.
I'm not so sure. We'll see. Let's watch how it plays out. 2 outs. Brandon Crawford takes ball 1.
A lot of discussion in the dugout right now with Walt pitching coach Jim Wright and Tommy Runnels, the bench coach.
Curveball swung on and missed. 1-1. Two. 1-2 off the end of the bat. Jolis has been in the big leagues for a while now, and some people may forget the big kid from Maracaibo in Venezuela is just 25, won't turn 26 until next January. Here's the 1-2, and it's lobbed into center field, and that'll break it up. With 2 outs in the 7th inning, Brandon Crawford loops a single to center to break up the no-hit bid, and a standing ovation here at Coors Field. And for those that didn't get out of your chair, why?
Yeah, fastball middle cut. Chassin knew it. They wanted to bury it in on the hands a little bit farther. It ends up getting it there. And then a fly ball to left. Culberson should have room. He will.
Nice play by Charlie. Now Jolis, if that's the final pitch of the night, with the pitch count being what it is, what a brilliant evening for the 25-year-old from Maracaibo. 1 hit, 7 gorgeous innings. McDonald's, get just what you need at just the right price with many of McDonald's favorites starting at just $1. I'm loving it. 1-1 game in the 6th inning. The Rockies would send 9 to the plate initially against Madison Bumgarner. Single by Rosario would drive home DJ LeMahieu. And then bases were loaded. 3-1 pitch. Yorvi Torrealba nearly hit it out. He did on 1 hop. He got 2 RBIs there. And then Joey Chassin, Lou the hustle. Should be an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. But Chassin raced up the line, got a ribby as Arenado scored. And that was the Rockies' 5th run. The story, of course, was Chassin. 6 2/3 of no-hit baseball. And then he gave up the bloop single. And here's Jolis getting a hug from his skipper, Walt Weiss, Roy Oswalt, Jimmy Wright giving him a hug. Monchi fields the comebacker, and DJ LeMahieu is retired.
That is a great effort. You got to look at the strikeouts, the ground ball outs, double plays when he needed it most, when the club let him down defensively, and he picked him right back up again. The right-hander, it appears to be Wilton Lopez, warming up down in the Rockies bullpen now. 108 pitches, season high for Chassin.
2-0 on Troy. 1 for 2 and a walk. Up the middle, Tulowitzki with a base hit. Auto glass issues, call Safelight Auto Glass. 303-287-5 or go to safelight.com. That'll bring up Michael Kadire. Michael 0 for 3 punch outs. Jolice a year ago threw in only 14 games. Remember he was injured, went 3-5. The year before he went 11-14 with a 3.62 ERA. Always been that guy, George, that the club couldn't score for, because in 2010 he went 9-11 and had a 3.28 ERA.
Yeah, not a lot of runs scored for him this year, and they've been pretty good about it, averaging almost 5.5 runs per game.
Chacin, coming into the ball game, had a 355 career earned run average, which is the lowest ever for a Rocky starter with at least 50 starts on his resume. Next on the list, Ubaldo, who had a 3.66 ERA in a Rockies uniform. And Madison Bumgarner, who was starting opposite him today, has had another terrific year, an all-star season, a 2.84 ERA coming in. You think about where Chacin pitches, no knock on Bumgarner or Lincecum or Ryan Vogelsong, you know where I'm going with this. And,
right.
And you imagine Chacin's ERA pitching half his games at AT&T and not Cavernous Coors Field? Two and 2 on Kadire. And Kadire, along with Blackman, have the rarity, the golden sombrero. Both have struck out 4 times tonight.
I'm not going to ask Sam Poles to look it up because I like him a lot more than I do Dougie. I'm just kidding. But I'd like to find out how many times in a lineup they've had 2 guys strike out 4 times in a game. Roger Clemens maybe in his 21 strikeout game. Maybe Kerry Wood in his 20 strikeout game. That's a bunch of punch outs.
I'll tell you what Sam just dug up for us, though. George, back on May 2nd in 2010, as a 22-year-old in San Francisco, Chacin worked 7 innings and allowed just 1 hit.
Young kid picking on those old guys.
Yeah. He struck out 7 that day, 99 pitches. This is a bullet right back at McGee. Takes a hit from Jordan Pacheco. We'll move to the 8th inning. The Rockies 5 and the Giants 1. Glove made a nice play. Rockies leading 5-1, top of inning number 8. Time to check our Coors Light freeze can. DJ LeMahieu steals a hit from Marco Scudero that would have driven in a run. Beautiful play by DJ, who's played great defense all year long. That's brought to you by Crossbrewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. So Jolie Chassin, 7 innings of one-hit baseball, will step aside, and Wilton Lopez will take over here in the 8th inning. Pinch hitter is Hector Sanchez for Gene Michie. 9-1-2 for the Giants. Wilton Lopez enjoying easily his best stretch of the year, throwing the baseball the last 2-3 weeks.
Very good hard sinker. Velocity has jumped into the 90-94 range very consistently since he's been on this roll. Pounding the strike zone, getting some late sink, quick innings. Probably going to see Rex Brothers pitching the 9th in a 5-1 ball game just because he pitched in the series so far. Well, I take that back. He pitched in the first game, didn't he? No, he did not.
Well, you don't have to take it back.
I don't have to take it back.
The 9 strikeouts, a season high, by the way, for Chassin. Wilton ahead of Hector Sanchez, who started last night and had a couple of hits. 1-2. On the ground to LeMahieu. Over to Pacheco. 1 out. That'll bring up Gregor Blanco. 2 strikeouts and a fly ball to center field against Chassin. Sliced foul down the left field line. Charlie's going to race over there. Does not have a play, though. Well, the folks that turned out tonight, it's a great Wednesday night crowd considering school's in session.
Yeah, really is.
They've been treated to terrific pitching performance by Jolie Chassin, and the Rockies enjoying now a 5-1 lead in the 8th. And that's a broken bat single to left.
Well, you think about it, okay? Broncos tomorrow night, Rockies tonight, Saturday you got football, baseball to go to. How much fun could you have? In 3 straight days, you could have a blast in this town.
That's right. Sundays,
Pro football,
Colorado State.
Pro football, Major League Baseball, get a little action on the college side of things. Be a great week to come into Denver and watch some sports.
Absolutely. Scudero's at the plate. Broncos hit it on the ground 3 times tonight, once to short, twice to DJ. And that's a base hit. That'll bring up Brandon Bell.
The thing about it, you've got Matt Belisle going right now down in the bullpen. Josh Outman, the other left-hander, was warming up down in the bullpen. He's already heated up. It won't take long for that left-hander to be ready, and that's exactly what Walt's doing. He's going to Josh Outman down in the bullpen.
Belt's been their hottest hitter. And with the traffic now, wants to go get the left-hander. So Wilton will hand the baseball to Walt Weiss. And we'll take a break. 5-1 Rockies, 8th inning, 2 on, 1 out. Here comes Josh Outman. For Rockies Real Time, we begin a 2-part series from the Dominican Republic. See the dedication of the Rockies' new Latin Baseball Academy in Boca Chica. And you meet the staff down there. They'll show you the history of things in Boca Chica, including a look at the old facility. You can compare the old to the new. Rolando Fernandez in that picture, director of Latin American baseball for the Rockies. It's Rockies Real Time. That's Friday after the game right here on Root Sports. Right now, the Rockies looking for a couple of outs in the 8th inning. Brandon Belt, who had 4 hits last night. He's 0 for 1 tonight. A couple of walks against Chacin. Josh Outman's in there now.
And what you look for is first batters retired. Outman well ahead of the National League average at 80%. Inherited runners that score. He's had 23 and only 3 have scored. He's got a couple on base right now.
First pitch misses, ball 1.
Belt just 1 for 6 in his career versus Josh Outman.
And that slider fouled off.
Matt Belisle mentally and physically preparing for the guy in the on deck circle, Buster Posey, if they don't get the double play here.
Left center field and deep, and this one is going to hop over the wall. So the Rockies will save 1 run there. It's 5-2 on the opposite field double by Belt. His tremendous August continues. And now you have second and third with Buster Posey at the plate. He's the tying run. And again, the Rockies feel like they've dominated. And Walt's going to have to go to the pen again and bring in the right-hander.
Just 2 outs from handing it over to your closer. Josh Outman's going to be disappointed at Belt able to get a hold of him like that and drive the ball into left center field. And that Walt would go out. You had one mission, get the lefty, didn't happen, but Josh has been very good at not allowing those runners. Matt Belisle's on his way in. Cincinnati Reds will come to town. They defeated tonight the St. Louis Cardinals 10-0 behind Homer Bailey. Those who run out. Bronson Arroyo will start on Friday against Jeff Manship, who's 0-4, 686. Arroyo having a very good year at 13-9 and a 3.42 earned run average. Pre-game at 6 on Root Sports on Friday night as the Cincinnati Reds make their way into it. The Rockies will hand the ball off to Matt Belisle, the right-hander coming out of the bullpen. Belisle this year, 81.7% of the time retired to first batter. He's only allowed one inherited runner to score this year. Oh, what did he do? Did he twist an ankle? He's not going to say anything to anybody if he did. Tough hombre out on the mound. It happened right at the end of this pitch. That foot slipped right out from under him a little bit on the pitch. Landed on that heel and had a little hop skip to it.
Posey 0 for 3. Second and third, one out. This is the last guy you want to have at the plate right now. The Giants trying to come back in this game. Good numbers against Matt in his career, 4 for 9. Blackman very deep in center field, shaded toward right center. The other two corners are deep as well. This is going to fall out of play. 1-2. Posey has tormented the Rockies in his great young career. Reigning MVP in the National League. 1-2. Ground ball to short. He'll get a run home. It's 5-3. Tulowitzki throws to Pacheco. Now bring up Hunter Pence, another dangerous customer. Pence 2 strikeouts in the 4-6-3 double play. That was against Jolis.
Rex Brothers is starting to throw, but not very quickly. Thinking about a 4-pitch save, maybe. A 4-out save, I should say. I like 4 pitches to get saved. 4 outs. And a 4-out save for Rex Brothers.
2-0 to Pence.
If it turns into that. 2-1 on Hunter Pence.
Pence occupies right field. Pagan, when he comes back, occupies center. Next year, the Giants will be looking to add an outfielder. Foul tip 2-2.
Well, the one position you want to stay away from on Hunter Pence is you want to stay away middle half in, and particularly down. He likes the ball in the lower half of the strike zone. So in other words, you watch this front side's going to pull, shoulder's going to pull, but then he wants that pitch right here. If you can go out here and move it away, you got a pretty good chance. You go back and look at last night, the ball he hit off the wall, the farthest ball hit, and it came off Chad Bettis. Wanted the ball away, the ball was in, and he made you pay, and it was elevated.
Yeah. That's the longest home run in baseball this season. 3-2. Line drive, base hit, and it's now a 5-4 game. Three runs in the inning. First 2 charged to Lopez. And that run charged to Josh Outman.
Let's look. Trying to go to that outside part of the plate. Slider stayed up in the middle of the zone, and Pence made it pay once again on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. Watch where the pitch is. And I think sometimes if you have a big breaking slider, you can work it away from him. A small breaking slider, a tight slider with more velocity, You get it right in the wheelhouse.
Sandoval at the plate. This game has gotten real sticky. It was 5-1 when the inning began. It's 5-4 now. Here's the 1-0 to Sandoval. First to check on Pence, who's 19 for 21 in swiping bags. I don't see him going here, George, only because with the guy at the plate, you're in scoring position right now.
I don't see it happening.
Well, the minute we say that, he takes off. Fortunately, it's hit the second. 3 runs for the Giants in the top of the 8th. 5-4 is the score now. Eighth inning. Who wants tacos? Fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies do score 7 for the Rockies taco special, text the word taco to 720-720. When that does happen, Taco Bell and Root Sports will donate $250 to the Colorado I Have a Dream Foundation. Rockies looking to add some insurance in this game after the Giants scored 3 in the top half of the inning. They'll face Santiago Casilla here in the bottom of the 8th. Nolan Arenado, Yorvi Torrealba, and Charlie Culberson.
One-run ball game changes everything for Bruce Bochy and his bullpen. Casilla last night, you see the holes between he and Javier Lopez. They've got 24 holes between them. The ERA of 1.75. The whip very good. The strikeouts. Hector Sanchez, who pinch hit, grounded out to second, stays in the ball game. Buster Posey done for the night.
So Arenado against Casilla. Brothers getting ready for the 9th inning. This ball's well hit right center field. Pence going back will make the catch.
A little sidestep too. He's thinking that wall's somewhere back there. I've had a face plant on it once. Second nice play he's made in the gap today. Going after that ball at right center. Being able to get a break on it the way he does. This big man running awfully fast after this baseball. I thought Nolan had hit it either out or off the wall. Pence coming up with a catch. Look at him. He was thinking about it, wasn't he? He felt the grass go to dirt, and he's like, where is it? I don't blame him after the way he hit that thing last night.
Torrealba booming. 2-run ground rule double with the bases loaded in the 6th inning. Would have cleared the bases, in fact, had it not skipped over the fence.
It's never good when a foul ball goes in the stands and about 1,000 people go, ooh. That's not good.
No, it generally means E.
It means ouch.
That or error. Two and one. Brothers in the 9th will get Crawford, Kieschnick, and Sanchez. Short left field. Kieschnick makes the catch. Charlie Culberson 0 for 2 and an intentional walk. One and one. Up high. Here's an interesting note about Chassin's 6 2/3 of no-hit baseball. It's the longest a Rockies pitcher has ever taken a no-hitter at Coors Field. Deo Nomo obviously threw a no-hitter here for the Dodgers, but in terms of Rockies pitchers, previous long was the redhead John Thompson 6 1/3.
Huh. I wonder what Redhead's doing now.
Swung on and missed. Culberson strikes out. So we'll go to the 9th inning. The Rockies with a 5-4 advantage on the Giants. Rex Brothers will be looking for 3 more outs. Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Fighter fares online only at southwest.com. By Connect for Health Colorado. When health insurance plans compete, there's only one winner, you. And by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. For Colorado, 3 outs away from a very gratifying win. Let's check in with Mark Stout. Mark?
Yep, coming up on the Toyota postgame show. Now I can say I have seen it all. Yoeli Chacin, 6 2/3 innings of no-hit baseball, allows a single hit, and vying for his 13th win. He was something else. Oh, this baby bulletin just in, hot off the presses. Willeen Rosario can hit. It doesn't matter if he's catching or playing first base. He helped out tonight. And hopefully we're going to have a happy clubhouse show coming up on the Toyota postgame show. Drew?
All right, Mark. Sounds good. Rex Brothers. He's going to see first a couple of pinch hitters. It'll begin with Joaquin Arias. He's going to pinch hit for Brandon Crawford. Brett Pill is going to hit for Roger Kieschnick. And Brothers' first pitch is strike. Rex, when he's had issues, it's typically been with the first batter in an inning. It's like he's 91, 92, and then he starts dialing up 94, 95. He's ahead 0-2.
Yep. And you look at the overall numbers, 55 2/3, 60 strikeouts. The opposition just a $188 against Rex. Come right at you, get after it, and get the outs.
Here's the 0-2. And Arias keeps the AB alive again. Two-strike count on Joaquin Arias. Rex Brothers, 25-year-old from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Played at Lipscomb. 1-2.
Same school that Bo McLaughlin, the bullpen coach, #1 pick by the Houston Astros out of there.
Yep. One, two, got it. One out in the ninth inning.
Nasty written all over it. Big hard slider, hoping to go on the outer half and wanted to drop it in on him on the outside part of the plate. That ball was by him before he could even make contact.
Brett Pill, pinch hitting. He's 1 for 18 in this role, and that pitch misses away, ball 1. If you're just joining us, Yoeli Chacin went 6 2/3 of no-hit baseball tonight before Brandon Crawford hit a soft single to center to break it up. He did give up a run. It was unearned. The Rockies made 3 errors while Chacin was in the game. Jolie struck out a season-high 9. 3 runs against the pen in the 8th for San Francisco. That's pulled foul. 2-1. Walt Weiss hoping to jump up to the top step and shake hands here in a couple of moments. 2-1 on the inside corner at 93. 2-2.
And by shaking hands, that would be 7 wins against a club he's never had. That this franchise never had 7 wins at home against the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah, this year they're 1-5 on the road against the Giants, but have been good here. 2-2. He's got it. 2 outs in the 9th inning.
Similar to the breaking ball that he got Arias on, this a little bit harder bite, but on the outer half. Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mode, no opportunity for Pill to make contact.
So Hector Sanchez, who pinch hit and stayed in the game last inning, behind the plate, bounced to second, switch hitting backup catcher with some pop. Not going to hit that slider in a million years. The 0-1. Just off the plate, evidently. Close, though. 1-1. Lifted foul out of play, a ball and 2 strikes.
Man, this crowd, get behind Rex, get behind the ball club, start clapping your hands, get on your feet. Wait on the high five to happen. This 2-strike, 2 outs in the 9th clapping started when Ron Guidry with the Yankees and on to Goose Gossage and a lot of other closers when they get to this spot. We want to see it in.
1-2 on Sanchez.
You don't understand the adrenaline lift you give a player by that clapping, that cheering with 2 strikes, 2 outs, knowing you'd go get a little extra fastball, hearing that crowd behind you.
Here's the 2-2. On the ground to second. LeMahieu puts a knee down, throws to Pacheco, and the Rockies win it 5-4. Rex Brothers a 1-2-3 save in the 9th. The Rockies win the series. They're now 7-2 at home this year against the Giants. As George mentioned, the most home victories ever in one season against San Francisco. And the story of the night, Jhoulys Chacín, 7 unbelievable innings as he improves to 13-7. He threw shutout baseball for 7, no-hit baseball for 6 2/3. Tonight's Jimmy John's Freaky Fast delivery of the game is brought to you by Jimmy John's. The 25-year-old from Maracaibo, Venezuela, was on his game tonight. He had the curveball, the slider, the changeup, and he hit 93 several times with his hard sinking fastball. 9 punch-outs a season high as well for Chacín. He wins for the 13th time this year. Visit JimmyJohns.com to find a location near you. Rockies 5 and the Giants 4. It will be a most happy Toyota postgame show. Let's get it there right now. Mark Stout, all yours.
Yes, that was an understatement.